another tough loss for our team. Congratulations to Coach Bobo and Colorado State. They played better in the fourth quarter than we did, and that's something that we have to improve on as a football team. It's a hard-fought game. I was really proud of how our team battled back in the third quarter, going halftime down 28-0, and just battled back. Scratch, clawed, made plays. I thought our defense played good all game. I think there's a couple big plays we'd like to have back, but I thought they played good defense again. And I think we have some challenges on offense. I thought Josh Love played extremely hard. He's tough, kept getting up off the mat. Was really proud of him that way. Some big time plays by receivers and our tight end Josh Oliver. It was good to have Tyler Nevins back. I thought Ty Cottrell was great in the kicking game. But it's obvious we just have work to do. We're not good enough as a football team yet to overcome penalties or, mistakes or lining up wrong or blocking the wrong guy. And so we got to go to work as a coaching staff and make sure we put our players in the right position to make plays and to have success when they line up. And so that's on me. And so we'll get back in here tomorrow, and we will go to work on fixing the mistakes we made tonight and get ready for Army. Get ready for a very good Army team.
Coach, what was your halftime speech like to the guys to get it going in the third quarter?
Really, there was a couple speeches at halftime, but my message to them was that, we talk a lot about being a family, and we talk a lot about loving each other, and we didn't play like it in the first half. And that was really my message. And I thought they did in the third quarter. I think, they showed that they care about each other. They showed they can fight. The next step for us to take as a team is to show that we can close out a game.
Yes, Coach. And then speaking of penalties, I did notice that early in the second half, you used 2 timeouts apparently to prevent penalties, one of which would have been a false start, and another was about 12 men on the field. Could you please explain why you call those timeouts?
I called those timeouts to avoid the penalties.
We'll come right here.
You played obviously a perfect third quarter, defensively, offensively. How emotional or bewildering is it to know that the others weren't obviously up to par the first, second, fourth quarters? You kind of.
Yeah, I really think that is 100% on me. I got to get them ready when we're coming out the blocks to play well at the start of a game, and we didn't do that today. So I need to have a better message or get creative with our practice environment, something to give us a chance to understand the importance of starting fast. We talked about it last night. We talked about it today. We talked about it all week. And we didn't do that. And this is definitely, a team I think that needs something good to happen to get going, to kind of feel it. And we didn't get that in the first half. We didn't do it offensively, and we didn't do it defensively either. And so that's the challenge for us. We need to find a way to create some kind of opportunity through great effort or great play call or great execution that gives us a spark early.
Coach, I had a question about in the second quarter, your team had just gotten an interception and you were in the red zone, and you went 4th and 4, and instead of trying to get the field goal, you decided to try to go for it, try to get a touchdown. I just wanted to get your thought process on what made you decide to do that.
I just thought we needed 7 more than we needed 3 at the moment.
Coach, Ty Cottrell had 177 total return yards. How crucial is that with helping the team get back in the game?
Ty is a tremendous young man. He is, his story is one of the best stories that's happening on our football team right now. He's battled throughout his career. He's been a tough guy. He's been a guy that's contributed here and there, and he just worked his tail off. And now he's contributing every week in a really big way. And so I think, this senior class, I think, is a special group of guys, and Ty's a big part of that.
Yes, Coach. And so clearly tonight was the tale of three different games with the way both teams had scored their points in bunches. But besides that, I noticed that emotionally San Jose State looked quite different in the first half and second half, because we all saw how the sidelines were all fired up in the third quarter. But I noticed quite some players getting quite frustrated in the second half. For example, after Colorado State took a 21-0 lead, I saw one of your defensive players getting restrained and you approaching that guy. So clearly there was some frustration. What would you say about the incident I described, if it's accurate, and basically the feeling around the sideline in the first half?
Football's an emotional game, and when it's going good or going bad, everybody is playing their hearts out, trying to make a play or do the right thing. And sometimes people have heated exchanges on the sideline. It's very common in football, right? But the thing you got to do is you got to squash it, you got to cool it down, and then get back to playing. That's what we did.
Josh Love, obviously a lot of hits. Obviously there was concern about his health. He hit his head at least 3 times I saw on the ground, and might have contributed to some of the fourth quarter play. But was obviously concern there even for his parents, or just how he's playing. And
you'd have to ask the doctors that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like any time a kid goes down, the doctors send him back to me or they don't. I have no say in it. So it's, yeah, but if you're asking about do we need to protect Josh Love better, darn right we do. Darn right. We are so far from being good there. We need to fix that now, because he's a tough kid and it has to be better for him. Yeah.
Tyler Nevins had 73 yards and a touchdown. What do you see from him in his first game back?
I thought he was a little rusty, but I thought he definitely popped a few runs. It was great to have him back. Tyler Nevins, even though he's a young player, is one of the most well-respected players on our team. I think, the injury against Davis was a scary moment for everybody. So to see him back playing well, I think we need to get some of that rust off. We need to get him more dialed into some of the protection, just clean it up.
Coach, could you speak a little bit more to how you teach a younger team how to close a game? Is it more of a matter of scheme, film, or do you just simply need players to make more plays?
Yes. I mean, to all of those things. Is it scheme? Sure. Is it players making plays? Sure. Is it film? Absolutely. Is it practice? It's all those things, right? If I had the magic bullet to say, like, oh, we do this one thing, we'll close out a game, right, I would have done it, months ago. With the young team, there definitely is a process to it. And we had a bunch of young players on the field tonight, but we're going to for the rest of the season. So that's what we got, But it's a combination of us giving them stuff they can execute, but also giving them stuff that gives us a chance to make a play, right? We can't just run inside zone every play and think that it's going to be enough to come from behind in a game like that, right? So we have to be creative with it. So, but I think it's all those things, Terry. Practice, players making plays, execution, film work, all those things.
Okay, we'll take the last question for Coach.
And tonight we saw Brian Papazian for the first time in his career, if that's correct. So what did you think of Brian Papazian being in the mix at punter?
I thought he did a great job. I think he had 4 kicks inside the 20. So he did a great job, which is exactly what you want him to do. Go in there and pin him as deep as we can. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Next we're going to bring up Bryson Bridges. Questions for Bryson?
Hi, Bryson. That OL on the Rams side obviously was, they're huge. I mean, how did that compare to playing against the Oregon States Oregon Ducks, Washington, whatnot? I mean, were they more physical? I mean, what was going on there?
I wouldn't say they were more physical. And each week you come out, you can't underestimate your opponent. And each week is a challenge. So, they came in 1-4. We treat them like they're 4-0 or 5-0. So it was just a matter of schematics. They caught us off guard a little bit in the beginning, but we were able to make adjustments and get it rolling in the third quarter, but we just fell short at the end.
Bryson, Colorado State converted 5 of 5 in the red zone. What can you do as a defense to improve on that?
Probably better preparation. It's kind of hard, in the red zone. The percentages of them scoring, sometimes is higher. But probably the basic stuff, more film study, and more schematic types of deals.
How would you describe the third quarter? You guys were like gangbusters in third quarter, and how would you compare that to?
Oh, yeah.
Due to scheme, or was that due to just?
It was just, I was able to give a speech in halftime and just had the guys believe in each other. Not looking at our circumstances, but just believing in what we have. Coach Brennan also gave a speech as well, and it just created a whole surge of energy, and we started building momentum. Offense was making plays, special team was making plays, defense was making plays, and it just carried on.
Last one right here, Bryson.
Yes, and then so we've discussed the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, after San Jose State took the 30-28 lead, Colorado State finally started moving the ball after being held to, from my count, 25 yards in the entire third quarter. What adjustments did you notice Colorado State making that challenged you guys in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was just the different front we were in. In third quarter, we had us in a 4-down front, and then I realized in the fourth quarter they got us back in our 3-down front. And they exposed us certain things or whatever, but towards the end we were able to stop them again.
Bryson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our last player tonight will be Josh Oliver, and we'll take some questions for Josh.
Hi, Josh. Victor Aquino with the San Jose Mercury.
How's it going?
If you can get the ball every single time and take all the weight on you to help this team win, would you have the energy, all the guts, and the heart to do all that for the team?
I think I'm able to, I think I'd try to do anything to help the team win. So if I was put in that position, I think, yeah.
Okay, so the third quarter was quite a different game from the first two quarters because on offense, San Jose State had a few big plays here and there, but basically had trouble delivering anything coherent. But then in the third quarter, you saw what happens when things go right and drop 30 straight on Colorado State. So talk about what adjustments that you guys made in the third quarter and how you got to start moving the ball.
Yeah, I think we saw some things in Colorado State's defense. I think we were able to make adjustments, and we were able to use that momentum that the defense had. I think it was 4 straight 3-and-outs, and so we were able to capitalize off that and turn those 3-and-outs into scores.
Josh, 4 catches, 46 yards. How'd you feel out there tonight against Colorado State?
I felt all right. We lost, so it wasn't the outcome we wanted, so it was a tough one.
Josh, so when Josh Love was throwing you the ball, obviously he's spot on, has a rocket arm, but a couple of times obviously he's throwing behind or throwing over. Do you think some of the hits were maybe affecting some of his accuracy, or what were you seeing or feeling from him in the huddle?
I think Josh Love's a great quarterback. I think he was getting a lot of pressure at times, and so that was led to some of the inaccuracy on his throws. But I think he had a stellar night for what he was given.
Josh, thank you very much.